Imagine it's your birthday, and as you're blowing out the candles on your cake, you are feeling not celebratory, but sad and wistful that you're living in the background of your own life. Author, YouTube sensation, and soon to be star of her own reality series, Melissa Radke made a pledge to herself on her 41st birthday. And wow, what a transformation! She's here to talk about how that pledge to herself changed everything. Well, good morning. Welcome, Melissa Radke. How are you?
I'm good.
It's so good to have you here.
Thank you.
So, Melissa, we have your book here. Eat cake, be brave.
Eat cake, be brave.
It's not about cake.
If you only have 2 rules to live by in your life, it should be those 2. Eat cake, be brave.
Absolutely. So let's go back to the beginning. How did all this start for you?
I believe that it started the night that I turned 41. See, a lot of people want to say, oh, this journey for Melissa started when she started making videos and putting them online and they went viral. But that would have never been had I not had this life-defining moment on the night that I turned 41. And you have to understand that night, like when I freeze frame it in my mind, it was a really beautiful night, you know. My kids were there. David was there. My mom and dad were there. We were eating roast, and there was even a cookie cake, but I had to go buy it from the mall myself because everybody forgot, to get it. But it was a sweet night. It was a family night. But I was at a place in my life, Nilda, that I had been feeling this quaking, I guess, that women just get in their spirit when they just know that they're made for more, but they don't know what to do about it. And I'd been feeling that for a long time. And I'd been talking about it in my journal and in my prayers and to my husband. And that night I leaned over the cake to blow out the candles on the cake, and I noticed that this idiot from the cookie store in the mall had misspelt my name. And I remember looking at that cake thinking, that pretty much sums up my life. A cookie cake I bought myself with my name misspelt on it. My kids were screaming out, make a wish, Mama, you gotta make a wish, And I thought, do you even make wishes when you blow out your candles? Honestly, do you?
No.
But children do.
Yeah.
They do. They put all that hope in that. But I just thought, my kids are putting so much stock in this wish. Okay, I'll do it too. So I leaned over the cake, and this is what in my mind I said, I'll give 12 months of my life to do things without fear. Even though people say, because of your body, you shouldn't put yourself out there. Even though I've heard this my entire life, for 12 months, I'll meet you back here when I turn 42, Melissa, and let's just see what's happened. And I wrote it down in my journal that night, and I made a promise to myself to live courageously for 1 year. And for someone who has always had to stand in the background because I was a woman, because I was a overweight woman, because I was a loud woman, an opinionated one, that was a big move for me. And I think that that's what changed my life, really, that night. And I made a video talking about that birthday. I was like, I want y'all to know what happened when I turned 41. In a couple of hours, it will be my birthday. Music was the only talent I've ever known that I had. And I was sitting in a class my senior year of college, about 110 students in the room, stadium seating. The professor worked on Music Row, very well respected, ton of connections. The professor you want to impress. And he came to my recital and he heard me sing. You can't sing like that and look like that and make it in this business. And with that, he tattooed words all over me. I want you to remember the day that your mother was sick of everybody telling her no. So she tried one more time. Because baby, that's all it takes is just one more try. Just give it one more try. And I decided last year on my birthday that I would live the year of yes. Today, that video has about 9 million views, but a literary agent in New York saw it, and an editor in New York saw it. And before I knew it, they had contacted me and they had said, what you said must be written down. Like, don't just do it on video. Let's put it on paper.
Yeah.
And that's how the book, Eat Cake, Be Brave, was born.
Isn't that amazing? Mm-hmm. So did you find the process of writing it easy or difficult?
I found it difficult depending on the chapter. There were certain chapters that I wrote that I loved writing and I loved reliving it. There were certain chapters that I wrote, like anybody would tell you, there are certain chapters that just sucked, it just stunk. I hated it. And there were certain chapters, there's one in particular called Lovers and Leavers, and that's about a really difficult season with my husband where we almost lost our marriage. And that one was especially difficult because I had to have his blessing. Now, a lot of people would say, no, you don't, girl. You don't got to have his blessing. No,
Yeah.
I love him and respect him. And I wanted him to be okay with telling that secret. And so that was difficult. But I really enjoyed it. And honestly, I'm a flamboyant, larger than life kind of
No.
personality. I know you don't identify with
that's
that
hard.
in any way, Nelda.
Yeah.
But so I felt like writing for me was a really intimate thing, and I kind of liked it. It was
Yeah.
a quieter side of me that a lot of people don't see. And I think people are also shocked when they pick it up that it's a funny book.
Yes.
You know?
It is funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that
Yeah.
it's like Tina Fey
Yeah.
funny, but it's funny.
But don't you find though that chapter though that was so difficult
Mhm.
is also what people need to hear? Other people who've walked those roads.
Yeah, I had a hard time convincing him, hey, if you let me tell this story about us, I'm telling you, it will help people. So we went on a book tour and we were at a bookstore, I think in Tulsa maybe, and it was packed, women from the front where I was all the way to the back. And at the end, after I've spoken, I do a little Q&A,
Uh-huh.
and I opened it up and there was a woman that raised her hand. And she said, the chapter Lovers and Leavers. And as soon as she said it, I knew the question was going to come. And I could see him go, oh,
Yeah.
you know. And she said, I read the chapter and then I made my husband read the chapter. We read it as a couple. And I just want to know. And she started crying. She said, could I hug your husband? Could I hug the man who is okay with putting that out into the world and still being so loving to you and such a supportive husband? And he was crying and she was crying and I wasn't crying because as David says, I'm dead inside. But everybody was crying. It was such a beautiful moment and
Yeah.
he saw firsthand what our stories
Right.
do for other people.
Because it's the journey. It is the journey.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've had your book for a while, but looking at all the different things you've done. So started out with the internet.
What in the world am I doing sitting here talking about what I did on the internet? First of all, that's just crazy to me. I still can't get over it.
But funny stuff and good stuff and
I hope, yeah.
and obviously relatable because it
Yeah.
went viral.
Red Ribbon Week, y'all. There's so many things. There's like, when I was growing up, there was McGruff the Crime Dog, and then Stop, Drop, and Roll, and Red Ribbons. And this is what it says. It's an alcohol, tobacco, and drug violence prevention awareness campaign. The goal of the campaign is to encourage children of all ages to be drug-free throughout their lives. That is a lie. That is a lie. That is not the goal. The goal is to drive moms crazy with different outfits every single day. That's the goal. Whoever put this piece of paper together was like, we'll get her.
I'm always looking at stuff that teachers send home and going, yeah, that's not going to matter.
Yeah, we don't, and I think
Connected.
that's the thing, you know. I think a lot of people like connect with me. I didn't know. I think here's what's funny: the things that I have sometimes been the most insecure about and vulnerable, and you know, I feel like whether that's my size or the way I raise my kids, which let's be honest is terrible, but those things that I've always been so insecure about are the things that people relate to the most.
Absolutely.
Isn't that
Absolutely.
crazy how that works?
Yeah. It really is true though, because that's what's true in all of our lives, right?
Yeah.
It's just what we know about each other, or maybe what we hide from each other.
Yeah, well, and I tell people now, like when I get the chance to talk to women, which is one of my favorite things to do, whether that be as a keynote speaker or just over a bowl of queso, both of them I like very much. I just say our stories, the very things that we thought, oh, this is my secret shine. I should hide this. I should never tell anybody about this messy divorce or the way that my children and I are, you know, we've lost connection. That is the very thing that people just latch onto because we
Absolutely.
all have that in common.
It is true. We do. And so now also a TV series.
I
On
don't
USA
know.
Network.
Now, at this point,
Okay.
I don't know what's going on in my life.
then you've already shot
It's-
this,
it's
right? It's
yes.
already. It's just not. It's not.
It's in the vault.
It's
as
in
they
the
call it.
vault.
We
Okay.
shot last fall. We shot 6 episodes with USA Network for a show called The Radkeys. And people say, but what is it? I don't know. It's me and my big loud Southern family. Okay? On TV. So clearly America has got nothing else to watch. But it was so much fun. They bought 6 episodes, the network did. We shot 6 episodes. They are done. They are locked and edited, and it's a lock. It's ready to roll out in July. It'll premiere in July. And it was a lot of fun. We actually just found out the name of it. Like the entire time we shot, we didn't even know what it would be called. And we found out it was going to be called The Radkeys a couple weeks ago. And I grieved that because it sounds like a show about my mother-in-law. So I had to get over that.
How often were the camera crew in? What was that like?
Girl, it was nuts.
Was it?
31 people. A crew of 31 at our house in my itty-bitty Lufkin, Texas for 12-hour shoot days for about 7 weeks. It was nuts. Wouldn't trade it for the world. One of the best experiences. I mean, when I tell you I was tired, I was tired. Like I was so sick of myself, you know, which I never thought would happen. But I was like, if I hear myself say another word, but it was so fun, and it was eye-opening that all these people, we met new people who believe differently and worship differently and love differently than us, and it was great. I absolutely loved it. My house felt full and loud, and my kids were entertained. They loved the crew, and the network has been such champions of mine. Honestly, they just build me up, and they believe in the show. I don't have a negative thing to say about it.
That is so amazing.
I've had people go, but how they pick you? I know, I wonder that too. But they just started watching me, following me online, and I think that they saw that I was appealing to, you know, I'm not a wealthy person at all. I'm balling on a budget 90% of the time. I clip coupons like the next person. I drive a 2009 Ford. I mean, I'm not fancy, but I love my husband. And I'm raising my kids to be respectful, good people. And I think a lot of people identify with that. And I think the network is like, we're missing that right now.
Yeah.
We're missing that. Let's put that out there for everybody.
Yeah. It is true. So you love your husband.
Oh my gosh. I don't act like it a lot with him around. Like if people watch my Insta stories, this is the honest truth. You didn't ask this question. Can I just keep on talking?
Oh, let's go, girl.
I literally had an event cancel my speech the night before I got there. The night before. They'd already sold tickets. Because they saw me do a video. I was at a hotel and there was a window washer. So we were like on the 24th floor. And there was a window washer in our window. Cute guy, young guy. And I'm singing It's Raining Men. Tall, dark, long and lean. I like it especially when they clean. It's raining. It's the dumbest thing. My husband is the one holding the camera, and I'm just singing It's Raining Men. And they thought it was so disrespectful to do to my husband that they uninvited me to the event that I was scheduled to come to. And I thought, if they only knew, first of all, that he's usually behind the camera. A lot of times they're his ideas. And I tease him and I make fun of him, but he ain't worried because I adore that man.
Yes.
I adore him. I call him the Attorney General.
You do call him the Attorney General.
Well, he is an attorney. He's an entertainment attorney.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I call him that because, like, I always say I call him the Attorney General because no fun can be found in him, ever. I mean, he's like all rules and order and, you know, like when he plays a game, he like wants to read the rules. I'm like, who does that? But he's just wonderful and he supports me and loves me well through this whole journey.
That is so wonderful. And see, that's the thing, you know, right? We sort of live in a culture right now that has a lot to say about toxic masculinity. Mm-hmm. But what about good masculinity?
I'm telling you, girl, it is
because there's
out
toxic femininity.
That's hey, good point.
If we live together, we have to learn to respect one another and live in that, right?
And I think that we are being told right now that we should celebrate each other's differences, which is a great thing. Keep preaching it. That's wonderful. We should. But why are we not okay with men being different? Like, if we're supposed to respect their. I love the fact that I just texted my husband yesterday. I was driving out of town and I literally texted him and I said, "You take such good care of me. I appreciate that. Thank you." Because everything in my car was done. I was driving somewhere. My gas was filled up. My tires had been checked. My oil had been changed. There was a map here and a this, that, everything I would ever need. Isn't that okay?
Yes. So that was the same experience that I had. My husband did that for me the day before I left. And it was amazing.
And would you change it?
No,
Not for the
change it for the
world.
world. Yeah, and he never said a word to me about that he was doing it. You know what I'm saying? It was just done. And, I will share real quickly because one of the things that he says, which is interesting, was I am the stage. I am that foundation on which my wife and my daughters perform.
Oh, wow.
And he said, that's how I see myself. Got to be that steady, good support so that they don't trip and they don't fall.
That's right.
Now, does that mean that it takes anything away from me? Absolutely not. Doesn't take anything away because I got to step out there, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't take anything away from me. It just helps me be who I am. And that's what I love, right? So,
I love that. That's a beautiful way to put it. So kudos to him.
yes.
I love that. I actually, I spoke in at a Houston event. There's about 5,000 people there. I was really nervous. It was the first time that I had been ever billed as a comedian, and that was really nerve-wracking for me. But I'm trying to stretch those wings a little bit. And when I walked off the stage, there's only one person I want to see. There's only one person that I want to walk back with me to my dressing room. It's David Radke. And we renewed our vows in Maui a year ago. He surprised me with a vow
I heard
renewal.
he surprised you, didn't he?
He surprised
Yeah.
me. He had it all planned. He had the preacher there. He had written his vows. I didn't have any vows written. And I have to tell you, there was a split second where I literally thought, and women watching this will identify, that you go, do I want to sign up for this gym membership again? Like, do I want to do that? Like, this is my chance. I could bail now. But I just looked at him, and the only vows that I said were, it's you, David Radke. It has always been you. I married you when I was 20. And it's just always been him. We've been married 24 years.
24.
And 18 of them have been really great. Do your math. And I tell people that all the time. I've been married 24 years, and like 18 or 19 have been wonderful. But there were a few.
So on the upcoming show, do y'all talk about these kind of things? Or what does a live reality show look like on the inside?
It was non-scripted, that's for sure. Okay? They just let us go. And when you let the Radkes go, David and Rocco, my son is 10, they're pretty subdued. But when you let me and my daughter, when you unleash us, I actually have not seen all the episodes. There were absolutely, when we were shooting, some moments, even in our interview portions, that maybe we would butt heads, or that we would get kind of intimate with our story, and share those things. Will it make it into the episode? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
I hope so. Honestly, I do. I hope our show is 90% hilarious and 10% heart. I think that
It's always that 10% heart that makes the difference, right?
I think people come for the funny, but they stay for the heart.
Genuineness. Yeah. So what's next? Melissa, do you even know?
I don't know. I don't know what's next. I know I have a goal list, and that's another thing. Like, I have heard, you should make goals and set all these goals. I've heard that my whole life, and I never have. And now that things are changing for me, I feel aspirations that I've never felt before. I feel like I want to do that. Had I dreamed that years ago, I would have just, I don't know, belittled myself maybe for even dreaming big. And now I do, and I write them down. I don't know what's going to be next. I hope our show goes on for several seasons. I hope it's a success. I hope I get to continue to travel and speak to women and share my story. I hope I get to keep talking to strong, smart women like you So I don't know. God knows.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm in good hands.
So, my name, Nelda, means to bring light to, or light bearer, or to enlighten.
Really?
Yeah.
My name means honeybee.
Well, there you go.
My mother named me after a soap opera star. Nelda at least means something. For Pete's sake.
But you say you want to be a light in the world. What kind of light would you like to be in the world?
You know what? I mean, it depends on how I wake up. You know what I mean? Like some days I'm like, I want to be a light to show the way for women who are struggling. And the other days I'm like, you know what? I want to be in a dark room. But you know what? Here's the truth. No matter what happens in my career, I feel like my most important job, the job that I have been hired and assigned to do before anything else, is in my home. It's in the four walls of my home. So I take my marriage very seriously and I take my kids very seriously. And I feel like I could make all the books and make all the money. But if I raise jerks, then what have I given to the world, right? I do want to be a light. I do want to mean something. I want to be remembered. But there is a quote that says, what if our greatest contribution is not what we do in the world, but what we raise? And that is really, I think of that every single day. I want to raise respectful, loving, nurturing, God-fearing children. And then I will be successful. So I guess if I ever said I want to be a light in the world, somebody wrote that down on a good day. But I do, and I want my family to be a light, because I think there's a lot of families living in darkness right now, and they don't have to. There's hope.
There's hope. Absolutely. It's just been a delight to talk to you. I would love to do this again.
You would?
Oh, absolutely. As another good old Texas gal, that'd be fun.
All right.
All right.
Better promise.
Sounds good.